Okay, so here we are again for the 2017 edition of my participation in the Art Soundoff Challenge. This has been going on since I think 2014. I've been doing it since 2015, and you can find playlists for the other 2 years. This will be on some playlist. This way, the Art Soundoff list isn't like really long. You can decide what year you want to check out. So, for those of you who are new around here and don't know what's going on, every year, Jersey Droz and Rob Stenzinger of the Leaning to Art cast, which is a podcast here on YouTube about the art of making comics. Every year they put together this Art Soundoff challenge where they and anybody else who wants to participate takes about 10, 15 minutes to discuss their art day and things that they've been thinking about with art. And every participant has their own additions. You know, some are colorists, some for work with different kinds of tools, some are in other countries and they have their own points of view. Everybody adds something different to the Art Soundoff challenge, which is what makes listening to all these participants so interesting. My addition usually is the fact that I am also coming from the point of view of a media critic, which I become a critic to make myself a better storyteller. So that gives me my own observations beyond just the fact that every individual has their own observations. But this year, we're throwing something new into the mix. My Parblo 8610 graphic tablet. This is the first year that I've been working with it. I've been working with it about a month. I've been using it in my Jake and Leon comics. I've been messing around with it when I've had some spare time. So this year, there's a point of it's going to be a little different because I've been talking about some experiences that I've had, learning to use this, learning to use things in Clip Studio Paint that I've never used before because I always just used it to color and letter. Now I'm actually drawing in it, and this gives me a chance to bring in some different perspectives from myself. You know, how does it feel working digitally versus drawing over there at that desk on paper? So that's one thing that'll be a little different for me. Also, Jersey and Rob came up with an interesting prompt of having somebody else interview you during your Art Soundoff challenge. And since I have my BW chat feature and the walking around conventions where I do things at the table, talk to the tablers, I kind of have some experience doing interviews. So I kind of put out there, hey, if you guys want me to help you out and be your interviewer, I'm happy to do so. I don't know if anybody would interview me, but you know, it's also possible. But and there's something different that I can add, and I kind of like seeing who comes in, who doesn't, what they have to say from their own perspectives, from their own art styles or writing styles or different levels in the industry. Whether it's people who do it for fun, people who are doing it who are self-published, people who work for major studios, and just people who just do it for the heck of it. So there's all these different angles that come to Art Soundoff, and that's what makes it interesting this year. It's a take on comic creation from all these other different kinds of people who make comics, but also do it. Some are teachers, some are publishers, all these different ways of looking at things. So I'm kind of really looking forward to this year's Art Soundoff to see what people have to say, and then also to see if I inspire anything, see if maybe I might learn a few more things about using this thing, see if I might learn from people, see if anybody learns anything from me, people who might find my perspective interesting. And there have also been times when we kind of ask questions of each other, or something that we've heard on one of your podcasts will inspire one of us for a prompt on our own podcast. And of course, if we ever run out of ideas, which I don't know if I'm going to do this year, I might. But if there is, then at artsoundoff.com, there's usually a list of other prompts that can be done. So if you don't have any ideas, there's suggestions for the whole month. Now, I typically only take Monday through Friday because I spend the weekends doing other things. And I'm pretty much going to keep that tradition this year as well. So you'll only be 3 for me this week. The next week, all Monday through Friday, I'll have things. And I record it the day before so that if I have any Patreon sponsors, and admittedly right now I don't, but if I did, at patreon.com/BW Spotlight, in case anybody decides to help me out a bit, because I kind of need it, they'll get to see it early. The next people who get to see it early is my website. This will be taking the place of my usual morning article link category, which means this will show up at bwspotlight.com at about 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. And then whenever I get to my computer is when I'll make it go live on YouTube. So that's kind of the schedule. Patreons will see it first, my website will see it second, and YouTube will see it third. But everybody will get to see it. Sorry, my nose has to start running. But it should be interesting, and I hope you'll take part. You'll check out everybody who's taking part of the challenge. You can follow them on Twitter using the hashtag Art Soundoff, or usually I think Rob runs the official Art Soundoff Twitter page, which is at Art Soundoff on Twitter. So twitter.com/Art Soundoff. And you can see that. And if you want to take part, they'll tell you how to set everything up. Most people do it audio. Myself and I don't know if she's doing it last year. She did, or this year. She did it last year. Becca Hilburn. We both did it just through a quick YouTube vlog. So I mean, you have options. I wouldn't even be surprised if somebody does it as an article, which is something I actually considered since I'm primarily an article writer. But at the same time, I thought this would be just a better way, because this way you can actually hear what I'm saying. I guess that makes it. Plus, it's technically supposed to be an audio podcast, and so vlog is like the next step up. So I don't put ads on the Art Soundoff. I don't do any kind of serious editing. I just come out here, speak my mind for a bit, and then log off, which is what I'm about to do right now. So I've already told you how to track me. I've already told you how to get into Art Soundoff. You can also go to Shadow Wingtronics, that's 2 W's, 1 word, on DeviantArt, and see some of my work there. Everything I do is linked from bwspotlight.com in the footer of any web page you're on, under BW Beyond. So you'll see link to the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, the DeviantArt, everything, every place where I'm hanging out, you can find me through that. And plus, I do daily articles. This year, I'm hoping to actually bring back Recovered, maybe even Reconstruction Zone if I can. Those are series where I actually get to do some drawing. I get to do some creative thinking. Whether or not I get to do anything else in that route would be nice. Tonight, I'm going to do another review of the He-Man newspaper strips, which is a series of He-Man and Masters of the Universe newspaper comic strips that were recently published by Dark Horse. I don't spoil it because one of the guys involved with the project asked me not to spoil the story, so I give you a brief synopsis. I spoil only when I have to, and there's a nice big spoiler warning. There's an Amazon affiliate link for the book, so like maybe I get a little kickback that way if you want to help me out that way. I gotta redo my Amazon list too, all the things I want. Make a better organized list. Art supplies, video supplies, whatever. Yeah, so hope you check that out tonight. It's actually a pretty popular feature. And also, of course, maybe I'll end up bringing something else. For those of you new around here, I recently just suffered Seduction of the Innocent by Frederick Wortham. I even got Jersey Droz to do quick audio commentary about one of the chapters. So that's something you might want to check out. yeah, and I have all sorts of other articles and videos. I have a weekly comic strip, Jake and Leon. You can see it there. So I think I'm done rambling for now. So here we go with another month of Art Soundoff, and I wish you, as always, happy creating.